then you know it's Christmas. When the snow starts to fall, then you know it's Christmas.
Hello everyone. So I know Christmas is like approaching really fast and I don't know, I just thought I would take a break and, you know, do something fun. And so I thought I would do this journal page with all you guys. The things that you'll need, these come as freebies, as I said in the newsletter, so you will have this, but to do this you can use you know, whatever paper you might have on hand that you want to choose. I'm going to use from the Charmed Christmas collection some of the coordinating papers from the collection, so I'm using this plaid one and the snowflake with the ivy. Okay, so the first step is we need to cut out this. His hand to look like he's holding this snow globe here. So I think I'm going to get my X-Acto knife. So I'm just going to go around his fingers here. The first thing I need to do, see, this is why it's always good to do a prototype before you do these videos to avoid all of this confusion. Okay, I need to cut around. I just need the center part, and this is the part I need to trace around, because in your freebies that you received there's a red frame, and that is going to go over this this tag that we're cutting out. So we want to trace around this. Okay. Now I want to cut that traced area out. So I'm just going to create a little cut there in the center, and I'm going to cut around my lines. Now if it's a little rough it won't matter, because as I said, that red frame that is in your freebies from the newsletter will go over this. Okay, so your page should look like this. And now, yeah, I printed out two. So, okay, I need to cut out another one of these, because I'm telling you guys, there is a method to this madness, I promise. Like, I do have this vision here, and I know this is going to work. Just, it has to, right? All right. Okay. There. So that will be like that, and then we have our red frame that this came in the newsletter, so I'm going to cut this out. Okay, so I don't have it, you know, exactly perfect, but I'm gonna take like a black Sharpie pen, I think, and, you know, anywhere where there's some white showing, just kind of finish it, make it look more finished looking. So going to just blacken in any of those white areas. I think that would be easier than trying to cut them out. Okay, and then so the red frame will go over that like so. And then we have our Santa and the snow globe. I'm just going to cut out some of the other things just to kind of see how I'm going to put all of this together. Just kind of give it that 3D effect. So I'm going to cut right at this bottom corner here. And these areas where it looks like it's torn, I'm just going to kind of cut around there and maybe actually tear some of them, just to kind of give it more of that distressed look. I'm going to go ahead and tear this corner here. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to actually use the one that I already did here, where I took my X-Acto knife and I went around this corner here. And then if we stick the Santa kind of in there to give it the look that the page is, like he's within that page. And I'm just going to go right along this folded up edge here. I'm going to go down pretty far. Okay, so we have him there, and then I think that works. And then that just gives it kind of more of that 3D effect that I love. And so we're not going to want the corner of his arm to show through there, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off. Make sure I get it held down in place. I probably should have like okay, and now I'm going to just curl some of those torn areas and then distress them. Okay, so now if I lay this down on this page here, Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue the frame down. I think the next step is to work on the snow globe. I put in 2 different sized, I didn't know what size of snow globe I was going to be going with, so I did 2 different sizes, but I'm going to have to use the smaller one, and so I'm just going to cut that out. The background of the snow globe, and so one of the things taken into consideration is we want it to look like, you know, you can actually see through the snow globe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Santa, and it looks like just the bottom part of his beard, you know, would be appearing through. So I'm just going to cut out parts of his beard here from the second printout that I did. So, just going to match it up that way, I think. And here's my little template. And so what I did is I took another snow globe and I cut out just the top part of it. And what I'm going to do is, and I might need to tape this down, but we're going to put this kind of right there, and then let's see, he's going to hold it right like so. And so going to kind of guesstimate here. So it's going to go right like that, and I'm just going to cut around that template that I made. Now you can't see the snow globe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and before I glue this down, because I want to make sure it looks right, is apply just a light coat of gesso, and I want to focus mainly in the center area. So I'm going to use Prima's heavy gesso in the white, and just want to do kind of a light layer. Okay. And I'm going to take a water brush and just kind of hit some of those edges, because I want the color to come through more around those.
Then you know it's Christmas when the snow starts to fall. Then you know it's Christmas for the children above all. Then you know it's Christmas.
Okay, so once that has dried, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, I'm just going to glue around the edges and not glue in the center because I don't want it to be totally flat. Kind of like that shape that took place when I added the gesso over it. Okay. Now we have our globe, which kind of looks like it's kind of magnified there. The placement, you know, I don't want it to be exact. I kind of give it that illusion that, you know, that it is magnified, which will happen if you just kind of, you know, kind of put it off place just a little bit, so it's not quite lined up. Okay, and now we have our horse, so that's going to go on there, and I'm going to distress the edges again real heavily, and now I'm going to glue this down pretty good. Make sure that, you know, no edges are sticking up. And kind of want to just push him inward, just again to kind of stay with the shape of the globe. Okay, so I have my piece of transparency here, and I'm not going to cut it to shape quite yet. Alright, so I'm going to apply the glue, little drops of glue, and I kind of want to just avoid, you know, kind of go around the Santa's face because we want to be able to see him. And the horse's face. Okay. Alright, and now I'm going to take and just sprinkle this with some flocking powder. And that gives it kind of that fluffy texture when it's dry. And there is our snow. Yay! Okay, so when this dries, you know, it's not going to look as white. So when it dries, I'm going to go over the dots with my white gel pen. But first, I need to wait for that to dry. So while that is drying, I'm going to figure out what we're going to do next here. So I'm going to go ahead and take and fold this in half, so I can see where my page is going to fold. So I kind of want it to sit up like a book. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and distress my edges on this page here. Okay, so I was able to get this off the back of this. So, yeah, you want to glue it down on this sheet, not onto this one. So I just need to place it on there to figure where it needs to go. And mine, I want to make sure I've lined up pretty good because I made a mess of mine. Alright, now that I have it placed, and actually, you know, it doesn't need a ton of glue, I don't think. Just enough to hold it in place. Okay, so when you guys see this video, and you wonder why mine looks like thrashed, see, it's because I made the mistake of gluing it onto the back of this page instead of onto this page. So my edges are really bad looking, but most of it will be covered up, so I don't think it'll matter. There we go. And now I have that window effect that I was wanting. So now that I have that fixed, I'm going to go ahead and just apply some glue to the edges of this page. And I'm going to push it in just a little bit because I want it to kind of stick up. And then onto this page as well. So it seems like it's pretty dry. I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Make sure I get it on there right. I'm really just going to hold it and cut it, you know, pretty rough like. I don't want to cut it right to the edge because I'm going to be pushing it kind of inwards a little bit just to kind of shape it. So, you know, we don't want it perfect because I'm going to kind of bend those edges up like so to give it more of that snow globe effect. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just right here on the edges. Is all. And probably should move this out of the way so I don't get glue on my page there. And then I can trim this, you know, later after I'm done, but I'm just going to kind of push it in a little bit just to give it kind of a little bit of, you know, that concave shape, and hold it in place till it's dry. While that snow globe's drying, I'm going to add in the snowflakes. Now the snowflakes that I used, I have some of these dies left. If you're interested in getting shipped out right away to you, I have 2 in stock. So if you want these, let me know. But they make really pretty snowflakes. I'm going to place these. Kind of figure out how I want to do this here. And I think I'm going to add just a little bit of blue. So I'm going to take my Distress Oxide in this broken china, and I'm just going to lightly distress just the edges there.
Santa's on his way. We'll stand under the mistletoe, and then it's Christmas Day. The joyful times we witness forever stays with us. Soon Rudolph hears his whistle and gathers all his friends.
Okay, so here is back to my snow globe, I'm just going to kind of trim this edge down here, cut off some of the excess. There we go. Okay, so now I want those white snowflakes to pop out more, because as I said, when the glue dries, it's hard to see the flocking powder on there. So I'm just going to take my white gel pen and I'm just going to kind of do like a little star, like I'm drawing a star over the flocked areas, just to make it stand out a little more, but then it'll still have that flocked texture to it, so it really looks like snow. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to do this base, and I think I want to do it in the gold mirror board. So to create my template, I'm just going to cut out the bottom part of the SnowGlobe template and trace around it onto the gold mirror board. Okay. Okay, so I found a scrap piece of mirror board, and so I'm just going to trace and then cut this out.
When Santa and his missus wraps the final gift, you know it's time for Christmas for each and every one.
Okay, so here is my embossed piece that I did, and I went ahead and I just distressed the edges of the snow globe, and then there was one little spot that I needed to glue down still. I think what I'm going to do is just take my black Sharpie pen and go up along here, because I don't want any of that white to really show through, so I'm just going to kind of darken it all in with the Sharpie pen. Alright, that should be good. Now I just, yeah. So again, I'm just going to glue the sides. For now, anyway, and I'm going to just kind of push in just a little bit. Okay, so here's our little snow globe. I think it turned out really cute. Okay, so I had to remove my Santa from the page because when I folded it, I realized it was going past the fold, and then you couldn't, you wouldn't be able to close the book. So, or you would be able to close the page is what I mean. So after refolding it, I'm going to reposition my Santa and make sure that he is not going past the middle of there. So another mistake that I made that you guys are not going to want to make. And it looks like I need to cut off this little section. Let's see, here. So I'm just going to mark where I need to go, and then this is going to go like so. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that down. And we'll put him back like so. Okay, that should be good. And I'm going to just go ahead and glue it all down, because I'm pretty sure that it's going to be staying there now. And my page, I tore it a little too far when trying to remove it. But that's why I only glued down that one section, because I was afraid that I might have to reposition it later on, which I did. Had I done a prototype, see, I would have known I would have known to do that ahead of time. Actually, I might just take with this page and just, you know, again, give it a little movement. We'll just kind of leave it like so, I think. And I won't glue it all the way down. So sometimes mistakes are a good thing. I have it, you know, it's really looking 3D, which I love. And you know, I didn't use any pop-up blocks or anything. So I'm just going to glue this one corner down and push in. Just to make him kind of lift off the page a little bit. Okay, and now our snow globe should go easily without getting in the way there. Beautiful. Okay, so now we are on the home stretch here. I have my snowflakes that I did, and we can just kind of figure out where to put those. But can you see the pearlescent shimmer on there? Right, so I'm just going to kind of, I don't know where, just kind of put these a few places here and there. So I cut out this from the freebies, and I'm thinking going to place it maybe like right along there, and just going to kind of bend it a little bit. Again, I want it to kind of come off the page. I might have to move my snowflakes just a little bit. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I just took some plain old copy paper. So I can kind of show you here to wrap around this. So what I did is I took my X-Acto knife and I just made a cut there. And then I made another cut there. All right. And now I have some copy paper that I just took and tore, and then needed to make sure that it would fit through these little slits there. And I wanted it long enough to take and curl back into that slot there. It's a little tricky. But once I get it, I'm going to place a little thing of glue down to hold it in place, so it will look like that on each side. But before I do this, I want to distress it and you know, give it that old aged look. I'll grab a little edger again.
And then you know it's Christmas for the children above all. And then you know it's Christmas 'cause Santa's on his way. We're stand under the mistletoe, and then it's Christmas Day.
Okay, so now we're going to just slide this back through again. And do the other side. I probably should have tore it after I put it through the little slots there. Okay, I think that looks good. I can mess with that later here. Okay, so we'll put this through, curl it. Like I said, it's a little tricky because for some reason, even if you pull from that back end, it just does not want to slide through there very easily. But I just wanted enough to, there we go, get it so it goes through a couple times. See how you have that edge there, and then I'm just going to take and glue it to hold it in place. So I'm just going to put a little thing of glue there, and then bring it over, like so. And there, got that curling back around, which is what I wanted. And I'm just going to put a little dot of glue on this side. And then we have our little scroll. Yay! Okay, so for this, there's a couple things, couple options that you could do. You could do, I have this Dear Santa, which we could lay down over the top part here, or you could do like Merry Christmas. I don't know which one I want, so I'm going to kind of like cut this out and just kind of see which one I might like better. Okay, so I think what I'm going to go with is I cut out the Dear Santa and I used some of these decorative edge scissors to cut it out with, and then I just distressed the edges. And I think I'm going to use that for the center of this. For right now, I'm just going to kind of slide it in there just to make sure that this is, you know, the one I want to go with. So that would go right there. And then the Merry Christmas, I'm thinking I will put up here. Okay, I think I'm going to leave the big ones off of there. I'm just going to use these small ones. And then I think I'm just going to finish it off with this trim that I have. So I'm just going to start cutting these individually. So I'm just going to cut off a little strip and then just cut them so I get these little centers that I can put for my snowflakes. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and start gluing down some of the, I'm going to glue down the Merry Christmas and the snowflake. Start with that. And I'm going to kind of just bend that. I'm just going to put a little dot of glue there, just where I think it's going to hit in here. And then my snowflakes. I have these scrap pieces of mirror board, and this is just a cut up frame, and I think I'm just gonna embellish that frame a little bit more. Alrighty, and then I have this. I'm going to go ahead and glue this. Again, just on those areas where I think it's going to touch the page. Okay, and I'm start gluing my little bling centers down. Okay, and then I think I'm going to take some of the red and the red trim and cut that up and put it around the frame. Just kind of see how this goes. Put some up there too. Okay, so now that that's done, I have this other bling, which I got from Hobby Lobby, and I think I might put one of these up here. Not sure yet. I know I'm going to put some down on the globe here, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down. So I have these two little circles here where it was embossed, and I'm going to cover those with these little gemstones. And then I think what I'm going to do is take and put these little pieces of bling, clear one, maybe a red one, and another white one, maybe. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to do that on the ends and in the middle. Let's see. I have these extra snowflakes here, which I'd really love to be able to use. I just put one there, maybe one behind there. Okay, so I think just about done. The only thing left to do is the snow globe here. I gotta glue that down, but it's laying pretty flat against the Santa's beard, and I don't really want it, you know, I want to, again, to keep that 3D effect. So I'm just taking some scrap chipboard that I have here, and I'm just going to place this behind, kind of down in this section here. Oops. Okay, I think that works. So just plop a little glue there. Okay. So, anyway, I think this will look really pretty inside of a journal. I always like to have like a center page that's just like a theme page to the journal. And let's see if I can find a book just to give you guys an idea here. I even found a Santa journal. This I will be putting probably for sale. I don't know when. Sometime soon. But just to give you guys an idea, see how cool is that? Isn't that pretty? So anyways, guys, I hope you have fun with the freebies. Again, if you love this video, you guys want more, subscribe, thumbs up, leave some comments if you have any questions, and thank you so much for watching.
Then you know it's Christmas when the snow starts to fall. Then you know it's Christmas for the children above all. Then you know it's Christmas 'cause Santa's on